Bum 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 robot dance. Dun dun dun. Oh baba bum bum bum. Oh baba bang bang bang. Oh baga boogie boogie ba. Hi guys and welcome to a new episode on this channel. Today we'll be talking about robot dance. Stephen Hawking bang bang bang. Oh baga enough robot dances. Alright. Today we'll be talking about this Who HQ book called Who Was Stephen Hawking? No, Who Was Stephen Hawking? Now, he died only like 2 years ago. 2 years ago in 2018, March 14th. And today is February on 2021, which is about 3 years ago. But for now, it is about 2 and a few months ago. Not a few, but still. And now, who was Stephen Hawking? Stephen Hawking was one of those people who, like me, not that very patient, and one of those people who ripped to like the bullies who ripped their schoolwork and never brought their homework. And here's the cool thing was like he was like not doing as much work possible and ripped his schoolwork. Yes, even the ones that were correct. And now there were some possibilities for this. He believed that he was smarter than his tutors, and that was probably yes, that was correct. But however, that doesn't mean ripping your schoolwork is correct. However, he did a lot of things, like finding that a mass, you are able to go into, if you are able to go into a universe's black hole, then you will be able to see one small thing called a singularity. It's smaller than this crumpled ball, however, it contains all of this mass. It contains all of this. From here to this. This is pretty small compared to this, right? Yes! That is so much of mass in a small space. And that might be, and black holes might also be the portals to the other side of the universe. Yes. Stephen Hawking was born during the World War II. And that was why he never got as much as what he wanted. Sometimes his neighbors found him gazing at the stars, thinking about secrets of the universe, and later even inventing his own board games. Then one day he was nicknamed Einstein because of his greatness of building an old computer, making a computer out of clock parts, and an old telephone, which was way ahead of his time, even though he can only do some equations like 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yeah. 2 plus 2 equals 4. And then there were loads and loads of other things that happened here. He was able to go to one of the greatest universities, such as Oxford. And this is where the tearing piece of paperwork comes in. Not so good, and that's what I call disrespectful. And then later he went to Cambridge. But then later on those steps, he started falling down and bumping for no reason. And then one time he fell down and knocked out of conscience and didn't remember who he was or where he was. He forgot everything. But finally he was able to graduate. He was able to graduate. And then in a party, he met a woman named Jane, who later became Hawking's wife. They immediately fell in love with each other. Then he was said to have ALS, and his mother and father was said that he had only 2 years to live. And then he went on to have a purpose. And later, Stephen Hawking and Jane Hawking married together. And they went to the Americas as a holiday trip. Then they had pretty children a lot faster than they expected. They had a boy first, and then a girl who was the most famous child of Stephen Hawking, which is Lucy Hawking, the author of... where'd you put it? Oh yeah, the author of George and the Blue Moon, and George and the Secret Keys of the Universe, all the George and the Universe series. Like all of these. First of all, there are stuff that we need to talk about here. Yeah. There is George's Secret Key to the Universe, George's Cosmic Treasure Hunt, George and the Big Bang, which I am currently reading, and then George's Unbreakable Code, George and the Blue Moon, and then George and the Ship of Time. Now, these are all books that I have bought. I also have the George and the Big Bang, and these are pretty heavy. So don't carry them all at once. Oh, okay, that was heavy. By the way, there is a drawing of George and before we get into that, Stephen Hawking wrote this other book called A Brief History of Time, which is now available as a movie. Should be talking about time and the Big Bang, but it talks too much about Stephen Hawking. So it should not be talking about A Brief Story of Time, which, by the way, is the brief story of time for Hawking, that is. Yeah. Later he was posted into a photo of the Big Bang series. Let me guess. This is Sheldon. I'm believing that this guy is Leonard. Someone is supposed to be Raj. Well, I don't know who Raj is because he has to be dark skinned, but it isn't shown here. So I'm gonna skip with that. And there are loads and loads of characters that I know, but still there aren't here that I don't know. And then later he forgot, and then later it was like he did not know how to speak anymore. So he used his cheek sensors to talk. And that's why he has glasses with those little wire things. Then on his one of his birthdays, 65th birthday, he went on a zero gravity ride with a team of astronauts in a Boeing airplane, which was not the zero gravity which is used on real NASA astronauts, but for some tourisms of space travel. Then later he wrote George's Secret Key to the Universe. By the way, this book cover is actually the same book cover that I have right here. This is like the original book of George's Secret Key to the Universe. And then he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yeah, by Barack Obama himself. That is cool. Later he said an announcement in the Paralympics of 2012. And then there was the series of Every Scene movie where it talks about the love story of Stephen Hawking and Jane Will. Eddie Redmayne played Stephen, and then Felicity Jones played Jane. And yes, that was a pretty good love comedy. Later, Stephen Hawking's life might be improbable, but the only thing he needed to travel through the universe is his mind. He only needed his mind to travel the universe. Even though he can't see it really. And now that's where everything literally happened. As Stephen Hawking said, we might need time to figure out that life is always unfair. But we can always overcome the unfairness and make it feel to us unfairer. We always have something to work for, and there is always nothing to work. There is always never a nothing to work for. We always have a something to work for our lives. That is why we are born. And that is why we exist. We are born because we are set to get something into our lives. And that is the lesson for this book. Stephen Hawking taught the whole world about black holes, quantum mechanics, and yes, even relativity. Probably the best type of things that he might have said is this. That we should not conflict ourselves, and that we always have a purpose for our lives. That is why we are born. We're born so that we have a purpose to live for. Without the purpose, well, you're not that much. But however, we always have a purpose in life. Even if the destiny is high, or if the destiny is low. As a man of science of myself, I do not believe in destiny. I believe in the laws of the universe, and I do not believe in destiny. I do not believe in fortune tellers, even if some of their predictions do come true. Well, I would believe them if their predictions were true like 100 times in a row. Yeah. And that's basically it. That's where I want to end this episode. Now, tell me about you in the comments below of something that you might have experienced the same as Stephen Hawking. Please write down in the comments below of what you might have experienced some stuff like Stephen Hawking. Or if you ever met Stephen Hawking yourselves. And I'll see you in the next episode. Shunhan, out!